Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name's Peter Lowen from Constructive Visual, and we help business owners master their marketing. Today, we've got a special treat for you. We'll be going through a WordPress plugin called SEOPress. If you haven't heard of SEOPress, it's one of the best SEO plugins that's available through the WordPress repository, and it's absolutely free. So for today, we'll be running through how you can install SEOPress and how you can go through and edit the fields so you can get an orange or green circle. If you're an absolute beginner and absolutely new to SEO, then this will kickstart everything for you to get your SEO efforts going well on your website. With that being said and everything out the way, let's get started. Welcome to the SEOPress website. SEOPress will improve your rankings and your traffic on your website. We'll be installing the free version for today, which is currently the version 7.9. If we go up to the top and click on the pricing tab, we'll see the three-tier structure that SEOPress has. There is the free version, which we'll be installing today from the SEOPress repository, but you can also download these files directly from the website, and using your favorite FTP program, you can upload those files to your web hosting provider's server. There is the SEOPress Pro version, which at current is $49 per year, up to 5 sites. And then there is some really great standout features for having the Pro version, which if you're looking to take your SEO to the next level, these are essential. So there is the automatic and manual schemas, and there's the redirection manager and 404 error monitoring. There is also the SEOPress Insights, which is currently at $99 per year per site, and that'll give you some extra tracking of your position of your keywords, as well as how you're tracking for your backlinks and a few other metrics which you can use to track your SEO results. For this tutorial, I'll be using my internal training website. So at the top here where you see localhost /WordPress, that's where you replace that with your actual domain name .com or .com.au if you're here in Australia /WP-admin, and that'll take you to your login section. From here, you'll need to log in with your credentials and log into your dashboard. Once we're at the dashboard, you'll need to click on plugins and then click on add new plugin. Up the top right hand side, we have search plugins. From here, this is where you'll need to type in SEOPress and press enter. It'll search through the WordPress repository, and then you'll see the WordPress and then dash on-site SEO. Click on install now. And as that's going through, it will take some time. And then from there, once it's installed, we'll be able to go through all the settings. So our next step is to activate the plugin. So click on the activate button. Okay, and then what we'll need to do is come down here to, we'll click on the settings button for WordPress. And then right here we have set up in 5 minutes to configure your SEO. What we'll need to do is to go through, and as you can see, some of the settings that we have here is too low. So what you'll need to go do is, if you see these error messages that come up on your screen, you'll need to go to your web hosting provider and look at increasing these settings. So I'm just going to pause the video right now and then just go through and update these settings on the server. Welcome back. Once you've got those error messages sorted out by your web hosting provider, you'll be able to go on to the next step. And the next step is to go through, if you do have a different SEO plugin, you want to be able to migrate those details across into SEOPress, you do have the option in here. If you haven't installed a previous SEO plugin, then you can just click on the next step to continue. So this is where we need to let SEOPress know a little bit about the actual website itself. So right here we have site title, and this will pick up the site title from WordPress directly, or if you want, you can manually enter in your website title here. So this could be your actual business name. You can also put in alternative site title as well. So I'm just going to put an example one in there. And then we'll need to set up whether this is a personal or organization. So this is an actual business website. The name of the organization. So this is where you'll need to enter in your business name. A photo of the organization. So this is where you can upload a copy of your business logo. I don't have an example one for here, but what you'll need to do is upload it into here. And then your business telephone number. So this is where you'll enter in those details. And then click on Save and Continue. And this is where you can add in your social media network pages. So going through, you've got the option of Facebook, X, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and then you can add in any additional accounts. At any stage, you can come back and you can enter in these into the actual settings of SEOPress. And then for here, we need to know what indexing should be disabled. So we definitely want posts and we definitely want pages, so we won't disable any of these. In the archive section, this is where it has should this be indexed or not. So date archives, we don't want it to be displayed. Search archives, we don't want it to be displayed. And author archives, we don't want this information to be shown on Google. Taxonomies, in this section, this is where we want this is where we want to disable categories and tags, as these are extra pages which Google will need to go through and index, and they won't actually pick them up and use them because you'll tend to find that it has a small amount of information on there, and that pages are the most important things. So the page types that we have enabled is exactly what we want Google to index on your website. So just click on Save and Continue. And we're almost done. So right here, you have an option for redirect attachment images to the file URL. So rather than having an image with a really long URL, you can actually shorten that URL just to make it a little bit more SEO friendly. This is completely optional. On some websites, I do have this enabled. And remove the category in your permalinks. So this is where you can look at shortening your permalinks once again, and just to make everything nice and neat. So on most websites, I'll actually enable this as well. And then just click on Save and Continue. And the universal SEO meta box will give you an option when you're previewing live to be able to click on the little icon and then make your changes on the website itself. This is completely optional. I usually leave it off because I like to be in the dashboard to make the changes. And then you've got the option of SEOPress Pro or the SEOPress Insights. So down the bottom here, we'll just click on the skip this step. And then right here, everything is all set up. We can look at going through and creating your XML sitemap. So just click on configure your XML sitemaps. And in this section, this is where we need to make sure that XML sitemap is enabled, as well as the image sitemap. So that means that when Google comes to crawl your website, they'll go to this file and they'll have a list of all the pages and posts that are created on your website, just to make it easy to find. We'll also create a HTML sitemap, and this sitemap will allow you to have a page in which your visitors can have a look at all the pages and all the posts that are created on your website, just so they can navigate through and find things faster. Perfect. So that's all the changes that we need to make at the moment. In the next little section, we'll go through each and every step here in the SEO plugin. So if we go up to the top and we click on Dashboard, it will take us to the page where we can go through each of those settings that we went through when we first enabled SEOPress. For example, if we go here to XML and HTML sitemaps and you click on Manage, it'll take you to that page where you can go through and make those changes. Under Titles and Metas, here we'll have some settings. So the top one here is separator. The standard by default is just the dash icon, but you can change that to an equal sign or 2 dashes, or you can change it to the pipe, whatever you want to use as your standard separator. And the separator will go between the actual page name and the name of your website, so that it will appear like this. The site title is the title that we've given to the web page, and then we have our alternative site title, which we've placed in our previous setting, and the meta description can be left as tagline for now. If we go up to the top and click on post types, these are the post types which we want to get indexed by Google. So we have posts and we have pages. So all these we want to leave as is, so don't change any of those settings. Under archives, here we have the author archives. And for here, we've got it disabled, so it's not getting indexed or spidered by any of the search engine bots. And you can disable the author archives as an option. And then we have the date archives as well, same as the top one. We have it set as no index, so it's not getting picked up by the search engines. And then you do have the option to disable the date archives. Search archives, exactly the same. Once again, it's set to no index. And then we have some information here for your title for your 404 archives, so you can leave that information as is. If you've made any changes, just click on the Save Changes button just below. And then we'll go to taxonomies. So taxonomies, we've got it so it is disabled as default, because we're not going to be using it for picking up for Google. It's set as not indexed with all the search engines, same as tags. Once again, we don't want these pages to be indexed by any of the major search engines, so we've just left it as no index. With the tags, you do have an option, same with categories, so you can tick the box do not follow links for this taxonomy archive, so nothing goes anywhere further. Completely optional, up to you whether you enable or disable that feature. And then under the advanced section, this is where we can set the meta tags for all the pages. So this will tell all the pages not to be indexed by Google. So we definitely don't want to press any of these buttons. So no index, no follow, no image index, no archive, no snippet, and no site link search box. With these, we can do it page by page or post by post. We can enable or disable what we want shown on the search engines. So just leave it as is for now, because we don't want the whole site not to be picked up by any of the search engines. Indicate paginated content to Google. So this is enabled by default. And no index on page archives. So this is set as default as not ticked. So this adds a no index meta robots to paginated archive pages. Completely optional for yourself. It does have the option down the bottom. We're just going to leave it as is for now. And the no index on attached pages. So add a no index meta robots for all attached pages. Makes sense. We're going to leave that one as is for now. If you do make any changes, just click on the Save Changes button. We'll return back to our XML and HTML sitemap, because now we have our sitemap set up. So if we were to click on this button, and if you have a look, this is the page that your search engines will look at to figure out what sort of content you have on your page. So as we can see, we've got posts and pages set up. There is the category and tags. So we might have a look as to why this has been shown. We'll look at disabling these two in these settings that we'll be adjusting soon. So we'll have a look at the page sitemap. So when the search engine bots go through and spider your pages, they'll be looking at this content, because we can see that it's picking up the about page, project, team, contact, and the blog page, as well as our home page. So doing exactly what we need it to do. So here we've gone through and enabled our XML sitemap to get this page working for us. And we've enabled the XML image sitemap as well, because your images can get indexed by the major search engines, and they can be used effectively for keywords as well. We've got the enabled author sitemap disabled, as we don't require it for this business website. And enable HTML sitemap, we'll get that set up shortly on the page. So we'll go here to post types. Here we've got post types to be included. So we've got post and pages, which is exactly what we want it to do. Completely optional if you want to have your media set up. So with that, you should never include post type in your attachment in your sitemap. Be careful if you check this. So it's disabled by default, and we'll leave it disabled here. Taxonomies. So this is where we have the categories and tags that we've seen on our XML sitemap. What we'll need to do is untick these, as we don't want to include them in our sitemap. So just click on Save Changes, and the HTML sitemap. So this is the page that will get set up onto our website, which will enable our visitors to be able to go through and check out the website to be able to find the pages that they're looking for. So a sitemap is very handy. So here under SEOPress HTML sitemap, all we need to do is copy this. So just right click on copy. And what we'll need to do is navigate our way up to the top. Just click on Pages, Add New Page. And what we'll need to do is just at the top here. So what we'll need to do is at the very top here, we'll need to give the page title a name. So we're just going to type in sitemap. Here where we have choose a block, we're using the standard block editor. And right here, we're just going to type in shortcode. Just click on the shortcode box, and it'll appear right here where it has write your shortcode. Just right click once again, click in paste, and it'll paste in that SEOPress HTML sitemap code. Once we have that, we'll just click on publish for now. Just click on publish once again. And now we'll have our page working, so we can look at this page. So just click on view page. Here we have our sitemap, and as you can see, our pages are laid out. So all of our pages and all of our posts that we have on our website. So we'll return back to the dashboard. From here, we'll go back to SEO, and then under our XML and HTML sitemap, we'll just make sure we've covered everything for here. So just down below, this is where you can put in custom IDs to include and exclude. You can also set the sort order for your pages and posts to be shown, whether it's ascending or descending in value. And then how you want the post ordered by. So whether you want it ordered by the date, the post title name, the modified date, the post ID, or the menu order. So the default is by date, and descending order means the most current date at the top. So the next section here, we have disabled the display of the publication date, completely up to you, that is optional, and disable the hierarchy of the posts and products. Once again, it is completely optional, as we don't have categories or tags or WooCommerce or any other plugin of similar nature as a shopping cart enabled for categories, we'll just leave that one disabled. Click on Save Changes if you do require. The next one is social networks. So social networks, this is where we can add in some further information about the business, just to let Google know what your website is about and who's the person behind the business. So here we've set this up previously as an organization. We've provided our business name, and we can upload an image if you haven't already done so. So I've just got an example one that I'll upload here, which is just this one. And we'll just click on select. And here you'll show your business logo. The description is your description of the business. So it's your little business tagline. So just an example there for you. So email only for organizations. So this could be your sales at so just type in your best email address there for people to reach out to you, and then your business contact telephone number and the contact type. So whether it's a support person, a billing person, or a salesperson that they'll be reaching out to, and any of the other options that are available there for you. The default is customer support, and then the contact option only for organizations. So whether this number is a toll-free number or there to help hearing impaired supported people, then you can select those options. The VAT ID, this is your ABN number if you're here in Australia, which is your Australian business number. It's your business number associated with your business. So if you have one of those, that's where you can enter it here within this section. Just click on Save Changes if you've made any changes. In your social accounts is where you can update your social media accounts. So if you have a Facebook page or a business page on X or Pinterest or Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, or any other social media network, you can add it into this section and then just click on Save Changes. The Facebook Open Graph is a section here where you can manage your Facebook account, where you can, with SEOPress, you can have a set image and text that you can provide to Facebook. So if you are sharing a link from your website, then that image that you specify and the text can be added to that link, just to make it look really great. In here is where you can add in your default image. So right here, it could be your actual business name, or it can be any other image that you have on your website related to your business. This will be the set standard one that it will show. And you can choose to apply this image to all of your image tag. So this is the default one, which will be shown if they go to your website name.com.au or .com. It'll show this image if that link is on social media on your Facebook page. And then the Facebook link ownership ID, this is where you'll need to get this set up. There are some instructions on SEOPress in the help section, which will guide you through going through your Facebook developer page, where you can go through and get this information, and how you can go through and get your Facebook admin ID and your Facebook app ID. You can also have a look on YouTube if you're unsure. There are some example videos which you can go through, and it'll show you how you can get your Facebook admin ID and your Facebook app ID, both of those, which you'll need to get set up in this section in order to make this work. The next section is X, so formerly as Twitter, and the same once again, this is to enable pictures and text that you set up on individual pages, which will show you how that happens in the next section. And it will have everything that you will provide 2x for them to show. So here is where you can set a default image, which you can choose off your website once again. So you can choose an image, and this is the default one that will be used. And for both Facebook and with X, you need to make sure that you check the minimum size requirements and the ratio of the picture itself and the maximum amount of the actual file space used for that image that you can have as your default image. And then from here has the image size for X summary card. So this is whether it's a large or just the default size of the image. Once again, it's looking at the image size that you've used in this section. Once you're happy, just click on the Save Changes button. Next one is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn one is where you can set the thumbnail image size being used, and then you can set the image from your blog post that you're using or your page. The thumbnail that's being used will be whether it's grabbing the default one that you have on WordPress, whether it's using the full image size itself, or whether you want to make that smaller. For LinkedIn, you want to use the most largest image possible. If you do make any changes, just click on Save Changes. In the next section, we have Analytics. So this is where you can include Google Analytics without having to add in some extra plugins to make it all happen, or digging into the raw HTML to add in all the PHP files to be able to add in this code. So right here is where you can enable your Google Analytics, and this is where you'll need your measurement ID from your GA4 from your Google Analytics account. So you'll need to jump onto Google Analytics to find that information. There is also a resource available on SEOPress, in which will tell you where you can find your measurement ID. If you're running Google Ads, you can also put in your conversion ID. It's just there as another little tracking implement that you can add onto your page. And there is, from SEOPress, some instructions on their page, which you can go through to get your Google Ads conversion ID to add it into this section. You can also list in events as well, so event tracking. So if you need to enable this, you do have the option as well. If you want to track pages on your website, so the physical little downloads themselves, the PDF files, the Word documents, you can enable download tracking. And then from here, you'll need to list all of the download types of files. So whether it's PDF or a docx or doc or PowerPoint presentation, and then each one need to be separated by the actual pipe. And then you do have an option there for affiliate and outbound links as well. So if you have some affiliate programs which you need the tracking to go out, you want to track it through Google Analytics, then same once again, you'll need to put in what the affiliate tracking account little little section here with your URL at the very top, which it'll pick up that information and put it in there. And you can also track your telephone links, so the amount of people that are clicking on your telephone link to get in contact with you. It's all part and parcel of tracking in Google Analytics. Now I'm going to struggle with this, so I'm just going to call it Mameto. From here, it's exactly the same as Google Analytics, it's just its counterpart. And from here, you can look at enable this tracking if you're not using Google Analytics and you're using this program. It is a program that is self-hosted, so you do have the option of the self-hosted or I believe the Mameto Cloud option as well. So if it is self-hosted, just click on this button. You'll need to add in your tracking ID. Unfortunately, with this one, it doesn't give you any instructions, so you'll have to go back to the company itself and they'll help provide you with that information. and then entering your site ID. Same once again, you'll need to get your site ID from the program itself. And then you can track visitors across all subdomains, so that is an option for you as well. And then prepend the site domain as well, so you do have that option for tracking. So if someone was to visit the About page on blog example.com, it would be recorded as blog and then the / and then about. So it's an easy way to get an overview of your traffic by the subdomain. And then you can track users with JavaScript, and you can disable that option as well. I would suggest to leave that one enabled, and enable cross if you're using this program, and then enable cross-domain linking as well. So it enables domain cross-linking with an example here for you. And then enter in your domains on there as well if you have multiple domains. Enable do not track detention. Completely up to you whether you want to enable that. Tracking requests will not be sent if a visitor does not want to be tracked. So if they have something that's blocking that particular cookie, it's not going to work. And disable all tracking cookies, you've got that option available as well. And download and outlink tracking, you've got the option there. By default, the file ending with one of these extensions will be considered as a download. So it's very similar to that download section in the Google Analytics section. And then disable all heat maps and session recordings. You do have that option at the bottom as well. In the next section, we have Microsoft Clarity. So this is a program which has heat maps and can track the cursor movement on the screen as it records people coming to your website. Absolutely great for SEO because you can track where people are moving about on your website, and gives you some great insights into what's working, what possibly isn't working on your website. So you can make those little small tweaks and adjustments just to make things function really great on your website. Good way of being able to track whether there is something that is not working or a link that's faulty on the website as well. It's just a good tracking tool that you can use, and it's absolutely free. So if you do have Microsoft Clarity, all you need to do is just add in your project ID, and SEOPress has some instructions there that you can go through in order to get this set up. The next tab is the Advanced tab. So this is the Advanced settings, and here you can set custom dimensions, and there's some further information on this on the SEOPress help section. But here is where you can set dimensions and then link them back to these programs. For most people, they won't need to use these. And then the next one is the cookie bar and cookie consent. So this is where you can, if you're using any of these programs above, you'll need to have some sort of cookie consent notification on your website. With SEOPress, they have this as part and parcel of the plugin. So this is where you can set up the cookie bar, and from there you can look at putting in the analytics tracking option. You can also allow the user to change this choice. You can set up a consent message for the user tracking, and you can change the name of the button used for accepting the cookie. And then there is the close button as well, which you can change it to whether you want it to say close or X, or you can just leave it as default. The edit cookies button, you can leave that one as default, or you can change it as suggested. You can set it up as manage cookies, and this will set the user can set cookie expiration date. So after 30 days, they'll need to go through once again and then accept it if they come back to your website. The cookie bar position. So this is where the cookie bar will appear on your website. So by default, appear down the bottom of the page. Do have the option of the middle or the top of the page as well. The text alignment is by default in center, but you've got the option there of left and right. And the cookie bar width, which you can go through and set as a percentage of how much space it will take up on the page. And then you've got some other options there for putting in a cookie bar backdrop the main settings, which you can go through and change the color, the primary button colors as well, so it can match the theme of your website, same as the secondary button as well. Do have options there of changing the color so it matches your website. The next section is in instant indexing, and this is where you can let Google and Bing know about changes to your website. So if you do create a new page or a post, you can type it here under submit URLs for indexing. So this will be the individual full links of your pages and posts that you've just created. So you'll need to enable both of these, put in those links, and then submit the URLs to Google and Bing. Now, there is some setup that you'll need to do in order for this to work. This is where you'll need to go to the Settings tab. And under the Settings tab, this is where you'll need to put in your Google Indexing API. So there is some setup to this, which you'll need to go to the SEOPress help section, and there'll be a guide there which will show you how you can get your Google Indexing API key. Or you can jump onto Google, or you can jump onto YouTube and search up the term Google Indexing API key, and there'll be some guides on there as to how you can jump onto their website and get that information. Once you've got your JSON key file, just paste it in here. And with the Bing Indexing API key, same once again, you can jump onto Google, or you can jump onto YouTube, and you can follow the tutorials on how you can get that Bing Indexing API key, and then add it in here. Add it onto Bing, I should say, and then those settings, you'll just need to click on Save Changes. And then from there, anytime that you create a brand new piece of content for your website, you can add it in here and then submit it straight to Google and Bing without having to go to their web pages and letting them know individually. So it just helps speed up that process for Google to index your website for any new changes. The next tab is Advanced. So under the Advanced tab, we've got some options here that are available, and these are some advanced settings for SEO, and we'll just take you through them. So here we have redirect attachment pages to post parent. So this is taking the attachment pages of the post parent or the home page if none. So we just need to have that enabled and ticked. The redirect attachment pages to their file URL. So this is an optional one that we end up ticking when we first enabled the plugin. And what it does is just shortens the URL just to make it a little bit more cleaner for the search engines as well as visitors to your page. If they need to have a look at any of your PDF files, documents, or images, they don't have to go through a full URL. On WordPress, it will also include the full URL to take for the image, for it to show the full pathway as well as the month and year of when the file was uploaded onto your WordPress document. And this just shortens that URL just to make it look a lot more neater. And then the next one here is cleaning media file name. So this is when the media that you upload, so an image, if it includes any special characters or uppercase letters or numbers, this will actually clean it up. So it's well worth having this enabled. Automatically set image title, which I'll give you an example. If we go into the media library, and if we click on an image, we have in this section areas in which we need to add in content as part of our SEO. So here we have alternative text. And with this box, this is where we need to describe what's happening on the screen. So if anyone's using any accessibility tools, this is a section where those tools will read back to them exactly what the picture is about. So this is where we need to be really descriptive and let the search engines know and those programs know what's happening in these pictures. The title will come from the title of the image itself. And this is where when you're uploading images, you should be using keywords that are relative to your industry in which you want to also rank for. So if it's just something generic, it's not going to hit us home as much as something that would be already pre-named in the title description. You can also change that title here, so it can be for something in relation to that keyword. So it could be, as an example, the business meeting, and then your alternative text could be group people having this meeting, and you could be a little bit more descriptive there, but that just gives you a little bit of an example. The caption is very much similar to the title, and in certain plugins, it'll utilize the caption field, especially if you're rolling over the actual image. It'll bring up some text, which is usually that caption. Caption could be very similar to the title in most cases, but you can be a little bit more descriptive. Just remember, you want to keep it very short, not too lengthy for the caption. Description is, for some programs, they'll utilize the description to be able to showcase not only the image, but the text of what the image is about. So it's very similar to the alternative text, where it describes what's happening in the actual picture itself. For this example, I'm just going to use what's in the alt text, but you can be a little bit more descriptive in this section as to what's going on in the image. So keep in mind the alt text, the title, the caption, and description. Okay, we'll return back here. So here, what we want to do is, once an image is uploaded, we want to use the file name that's been used, and what we want to do is fill in those sections. So the alternative text, the caption, and the description. So here we have automatically set the image title. So if we click this, it'll take the file name and use that as the title. Automatically set the image alt text, which we'll do as well. Just helps speed up that process, because even if we go back to the media library, we can manually go through and change that text as well. Automatically set the image alt text from target keywords. Yeah, perfect. We'll enable that one. And it'll automatically set the image caption, which, same once again, we want it to generate that caption based on the file name. And automatically set the image description. So we need to enable this one just so we can set the name of the description as the name of the file, and then just click on Save Changes. And any new image that we add into the media library now will be updated with the file name in those sections. If we click on the Advanced tab, here we have some extra information in which we have the crawling optimization. You just need to leave this one as standard, so add the tiny MCE editor, and to the term description, just leave it as is. We've removed the category and the URL, so that's an option that we've placed there. Here we don't have WooCommerce enabled, so this is switched off by default. If we did have WooCommerce enabled, then we've got the option of removing the product category just to help minimize the size of the URL. Here we've got an option to remove the reply to link to avoid duplicate content. This one's completely optional. You can look at ticking it or leaving it as is. Remove the no referrer link attribute in the post content. So this one is the no referrer attribute in the source code. It's useful for affiliate links in Amazon. If you don't have any affiliate links, you can look at disabling it or enabling it if required. Remove WordPress generator from the meta tag. So this one is quite handy, as people can look at the source code to your website and figure out what sort of content management system that you're running and what version of it as well, which can be quite handy for hackers to go through to find out who's running an outdated version of WordPress. If it's something that can be easily hacked, they can go through and do a search. If they find you in the search engines, could be a good way of getting hacked. So it's good practice just to remove that meta generator in source. Remove entry post class. This one is to prevent Google from seeing it as structured data, as schema. So this definitely helps with the SEO aspect to your website. Remove the author URL. So this one is the author URL in the comments section of the website of the profile page. For this, we normally remove on a business website. Remove website fields in comment form. So we have comments disabled on this website. So remove website field from comment to reduce spam. If you do have your comments disabled on your website, highly recommend just to cover yourself to reduce the amount of spam coming to your website. Add no follow, no opener, no referral attributes to the comment form link. Once again, if you have comments disabled, it's good practice, just remove that as well. Remove WordPress short link from meta tag. Remove the WordPress short link meta tag from the source code. Optional if you want to remove that one as well. Remove Windows Live Writer meta tag. So it's completely up to you whether you use Windows Live Writer. Most people don't, so it's good practice just to remove it. Remove the RSD meta tag. So this is the really simple discovery meta tag from source. This will come up with a security HTTPS warning if you enable this option. It comes up with like a false positive within the dashboard of WordPress. So it's completely up to you whether you enable or disable that feature. Remove the embed links. Embed links, this will prevent other blogs from to enable one of your posts on their site. Completely up to you. It's a bit of a security thing. It's completely optional whether you want to allow or disallow that to happen on your website. Remove WordPress X pingback header. So the pingback header and trackbacks, and basically by disabling this, it just increases the security to your website. Remove WordPress X powered by header. Once again, this is just another little header information in the source code, which just lets people know about your PHP version, which for security reasons can be a little bit of an issue if you're not keeping up to date with your PHP on your web hosting. And remove emoji support. Once again, completely up to you, but this will disable the code to enable the emoji support on your website, but it will also help increase the performance to your website. Completely optional if you use that or not. And then down the bottom, we have search engine validation. Easy way to validate your website search engines with the webmaster tools. You can go into the SEOPress help section, and they'll take you through what you'll need to do to enter in the details here to enable the search engine validation. Just click on Save Changes if you make any changes in this section. Under the Advanced tab, here we have the meta boxes, which in the live view of the website, you can see the icon down the bottom, which you can click on. I have it disabled, but it's up to you whether you want to enable it. You do have this section here, which you can enable that meta box to be shown on your homepage. There is an option there to remove the content analytics meta box. We just have that disabled by default, and hide the Genesis SEO meta box. We just leave that disabled for now. Then we have some options here with the admin bar, which is at the very top of the page here. So this is this section. If you don't want this button to be shown at the top, you do have the option to remove it. And the no index in admin bar, remove the no index item from the admin bar and from the front end and back end to the website. So that's completely optional, which you can enable or disable. So we'll leave that one as is, and then we'll just go down. Here we have the column section. So this is where if you want these sections to be shown in your pages or posts, then you've got the option of showing the redirect URL, the current URL, the show target keyword column. You do have those options that you can enable there. By default, we just have the title tag and the meta description as enabled. The show no index and the no follow column is shown. And then the show inbound column post types and the outbound post types here. So really just to give you a bit of an example, if we go to pages, all pages, and then here you can see these columns. So we have the title tag, the meta description, no index and no follow, and the score. And we'll be looking at more of these in our next section. So if we return back once again, if you do make any changes, just click on the Save Changes. And our last one there is security. So security is whether any of these SEO meta boxes are shown to any other people. You've got the option of blocking those roles from being able to see these SEO sections. If you're the administrator and let's say you've got editors or an author, as those users have access to your website, if you don't want them to have any access to SEOPress, then just your administrator account can go through and make those changes. They won't be able to see the SEOPress settings. And then we've got the option there for the block content analysis as well, which you can look at setting up who has access to it. For the SEO settings pages, this is the settings pages that we see right here. You can look at allowing or disallowing either editors, authors, contributors, or subscribers from getting access to any of these sections. So it's completely up to you. If it's just you using your website and no one else has access to it, then you can just leave these as default unticked. Our last section is the tools section. And here is where you can export your plugin sections. So if you want to take a copy of what we've done today, just as a backup, you can just click on export. And then at any stage, if you do some changes and something goes missing or it's not working, you can look at going back and importing this file just to make sure it's all running correctly for you. In the plugins section, this is where you can import from previous plugins that you may have used. So if you used Yoast SEO, All-in-One SEO, Rank Math, any of the other SEO plugins, well, they can import the data from that previous plugin. And the last option there is to reset. So you've got clean content scans. You can go through and click on that. You can reset notices. So this is the notification center, which comes up here, and reset all settings. If it's not working for you and something's crashed, or if you can't get any access to anything, you can click on the reset settings and it'll change everything back to default for you. Okay, with that being said, we're going to move on to our next section, which this is just the setup section. The next section that we're looking at is going through and changing the settings within posts and pages to make things work for you for getting those SEO results in SEOPress. We'll see you soon. Congratulations in completing your SEOPress settings. That'll get everything set up for our next video as part of this series, where we'll tackle getting the orange and green circle in your posts and pages to set up the SEO in your website. So make sure you check out our next video as part of this series. If you got anything out of watching this content for today, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel and leave your comments below in the comments section. With that being said, thank you very much, and we'll check you in the next video. Thank you.